You can see all the workouts in this course on Amazon and wellnessplus.tv. Hi, I'm Hannah, and welcome to my wall recovery video. In this video, we're gonna go over some great mobility exercises for your shoulders, back, and your hips to keep you mobile and loose for your workouts. So let's get started. So sometimes when we're really stiff and tight, it's good to do movement-based warming up. So we're gonna bring our foot up and back, just like that, nice and light. And keep your core tucked, hips tucked, so that we're not crunching our stomach, but we wanna keep nice, tall posture. We're gonna do each leg. Good, now I switch legs. And just kind of be nice and light and loose. Try to get a little higher as we go along. And really feel the stretch in the hamstring and the glutes. Now we're gonna change it. We're gonna face the wall, and you can put your hands on for support. You're gonna cross and then lift. And try to keep the hips square, meaning they're not tilting with each movement. So cross and up, and kind of flex the foot. So instead of pointing the toe, we're gonna keep the toes up towards the sky and cross that heel to engage our glute, medius and minimus. Then we're gonna switch, cross and up. And this really helps open our hips. They can get tight from sitting, which we do when we drive, or if you work at a computer. Good. Now let's do some circles. So you're gonna bring your toe up and around. And it's good over time to practice trying to do this without holding onto the wall. But when you're first starting, it's a good way to get the full range of motion. Let's try the other side. Notice if you can do the same size circles with each leg. If you're tighter in one leg and hip socket, we want to take note of that, because that could lead to a hip tilt when you squat. Shake it out. You should be feeling nice and loose in your hips. Another one, you can cross your foot over and do a pigeon stretch on the wall. And put that elbow into the knee to try to tilt that foot up. This is getting our hip flexors. And you can sink into it. Extend and sink even more. Engaging the active isolated stretching modality. Shake it out. And you can do the other leg. So cross and sink that elbow in there. Go deep and even deeper. Breathe into it. Getting those hip flexors nice and warm and engaged. This is gonna lead us into a wall squat. And the more mobile and warm your hips are, the lower you're gonna get on your squat. And this is gonna help you with all of your functional movement patterns. Shake it up. So next we're gonna do a wall squat, which involves putting your hands on the wall and sliding them down as we squat. And what I love about this movement is it allows you to get the proper form for a squat, putting the weight on your heels. It helps you open up the chest by stretching the pectorals. And it also works on stretching the thoracic spine, which is the upper part of the spine that can get tight from being hunched over. So we wanna open up those muscles and get ourselves ready for overhead squats and improving our posture. So You'll put your hands on the wall. You want to be about a foot's width or less from the wall, depending on where you're starting at. Put your hands on and then slowly lower, putting the weight in the heels. Pop the head through and come out. Try to get a little closer. You can turn your feet out, come down, and notice how low I'm getting. I could wiggle my toes, which is what you want to be able to do every time you squat. Again, nice and slow. Good. So in order to be able to do that, you need that mobility to raise your hands behind your head, which is what we're gonna do next. So one way to do this is do a rainbow. So as close as you can get to the wall, you're gonna trace your fingertips along the wall. We're gonna do 5 of these. That's 2. Breathe, feel that stretch. 3. A few more. Good, and switch. Notice if you're tighter on one side than the other. Really open up those pectorals. And one thing I like to do is to just hold the stretch and open up the chest. What we don't realize is everything we do in life is forward. For the most part, we do cooking and reading and texting and typing, and this contracts our shoulders forward, which makes our chest tight. So doing this helps alleviate that, helps our posture. So we want to hold each side about 30 seconds. You can also do this in a doorway. You can do this at work. Good. Now put your back on the wall. You can lower a little bit, bring your feet out, and try to get the core and the low back flat. We're gonna make a W, and we're gonna touch the fingertips and down. Really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades. So squeezing the scapula down and together in the movement. We wanna work on scapular retraction in order to help pull our shoulders back and improve our posture. Being able to retract the scapula is what keeps our chest nice and proud and tall. If you want to work some core engagement, lower down. I'll do a few more. Just squeeze really hard, like you're trying to crack an acorn between your shoulder blades. And if you notice you have trouble getting your arms flat against the wall, that's something we want to work on. Now let's bring the hands forward. This is engaging our rotator cuff and increasing the mobility and the strength in all of the tiny rotator cuff muscles. It's important to make sure our shoulders and our rotator cuff is nice and warm before doing a lot of heavy movement, because it's easy to injure. So that's why we're strengthening it, increasing the mobility. Good. Shake it out. You might notice it burns a little. That's good. It means you're getting stronger. Let's focus on the back. So there's a few different movements you can do for your thoracic spine. Let's start with the bent over. So you're gonna take your hands on the wall, step back and push your head through the hole. And we're actually trying to make the upper back curve here. So you're not trying to be flat, but we're trying to push the weight through our palms, stretching the chest. Let's do 5 of those. Breathe out as you come down. Let gravity pull you down towards the wall. It's gonna help you stretch. And this is gonna really help you with your posture, with your overhead squat, with your mobility. A few more. Last one. Let's hold it, sink even more. Notice if you're tighter on one side than the other. And come back. Another one I like to do is the elbows up. You're going to take a split stance, so 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, hands behind the head, elbows close together, shoulder width apart, and you're gonna press into the wall as you look up towards the ceiling. So let's do 10 of those. Press up. This also stretches the triceps. And breathe into it. Trying to curve the thoracic spine the opposite direction than it's normally curved in our day-to-day lives. Halfway, breathe. Try to get deeper. You can switch feet if you like, but it's not necessary. Last one, let's hold. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. So now, after opening up the chest and the back, let's try the wall squat again. You may notice you can get a little deeper. So hands up, feet shoulder width apart or wider, toes out, and come down. Let's do 5 of those. Nice and slow. Feeling the weight in the heels. Keeping the chest lifted. Last one, hold for 10. Breathe, wiggle the toes. This is where we want our chest and our back when we do our regular squats. We want to be this erect. And that way we're keeping the work in our quads, hamstrings, and glutes, as opposed to making it a hinge motion. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this helped you with your squats, and feel free to join me for the rest of my 30-day program on wellnessplus.tv and amazon.com with the links below. Competing as a natural bodybuilder has challenged me to learn the best moves for sculpting and shaping the entire body. Adding in the HIIT training component keeps you burning fat for 24 to 36 hours after your workout so you can see results fast. Woo! I'm burning, I don't know about you. These are the moves that helped me win natural bodybuilding competitions, and now I'm teaching these moves to you. My course is available on Amazon and wellnessplus.tv at the links in the video description below.